Hey, Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode, episode 124. We're on to La Vuelta, and I think I've got a focus of maybe 9 stages, or probably less. I think we'll cut that down to about 7 by passing quite a few other stages in this race and letting the quick sim play out a little bit. But we are going to go for it. We do have Lenny Martinez for this one, so we do have our leader one more time before he heads out. First up for us is we are in Utrecht for a 23-kilometer team time trial. Setting off on this team time trial, the one worrying factor is we don't have a great group of time trialists, but none of them are terrible, so we'll see what we can do. 86 is definitely softer than I want to be going. I'm thinking it's going to be an either 88 or 89. The 89 might be a hair too hard for this one, but we'll see. We'll see. Just front couple riders feeling that pace. We have 2 guys in excellent time trialing shape. The rest are a bit less. Now, Piccioni has a +5, and he's already one of our great ones in that department, so he is going to be phenomenal. And actually, I might have to back off for Piccioni himself a little bit, otherwise he's going to destroy everybody else. We want him to go for like a long time and set a good pace. He's got an 82 time trial, so we can really set him up to go for a very long time. But we're going to have to watch this pace, watch what's going on behind us, make sure we are not destroying our team, and we are not. First time check, we were 8th place, 11 seconds down, but you can see, we're pushing just about as hard as we can really manage to push. And the 88 is kind of just holding. Let's go up to that 89 and see what happens as we go a little bit deeper here on the rest of this stint for Piccioni. Back down to that 88 as he's about to peel off. And yeah, that was good. I think that was really well managed. It was a great turn from Piccioni. Meanwhile, Martinez is the other strong man of the group. And you can see that overall, everyone is still hanging on for the time being. But we're pushing. We're pushing well. I think we're going to be in a much better place at the second time check than we were at the first, because that was the first turn for those key guys. And you can see how we've moved up. We've gained. We've gone from 10th up to 4th place at that second time check. Now, that does mean I want to get around to these guys, Piccioni and Martinez, to lead us out one more time. So we're going to really cut down on the time for these kind of weaker guys behind. We're going to go much faster and get back to our leaders here early on. Martinez also, I think, is going to take a long turn towards finishing off this race. So going through those guys a little bit quicker here. I think the other thing that I want to do now is I want to push a lot harder with these guys that are doing their few seconds on top. Get a little bit more out of what it is that they are trying to do. So McKellar, only 5 seconds, but pushes hard. Ponemar, only 6 seconds, but he's pushing hard. And now on to Piccioni and Martinez to try to lead us across the line. 300 meters to go. 5th place, 30 seconds down. Wow. Everybody else managed to push even harder towards the finish line than we did, but we are right there in decent position. 30 seconds isn't great. I really thought we were going to be a lot closer, but the acceleration that I provided didn't even match up to the acceleration that everybody else provided in those final kilometers. Looks like we could have gotten away with about a 90 pace-wise. Our 2 guys that were quick were definitely quick, but you can only go so fast with them before you literally drop the entire rest of your team. So it's a tricky place to be. You really have to set a tempo that your 5th best can handle in a team time trial, and that is ultimately what we had to do. The 2 guys that could lead us out and push, well, there was no drop off from 5th to 8th. They were all the same. There was really only one rider who was maybe a slightly weaker, and considering we didn't drop that one rider, that is why I think we could have gone that little bit harder. But how much difference would it have made? Well, we had no weakness at the end, so I'm surprised we lost that much time, but others were able to just find more. Either way, though, we're 2 seconds out of fourth place. There's really only 3 teams that have gained a good chunk of time: Quickstep, Jumbo-Visma, and Ineos. There, of course, are still a few more teams across the line, and that still could change a little bit. But we're overall well placed. You certainly don't want to be in the lead from the get-go anyway. So, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right with where we're at. Before we get into the next stage, European Championships. That was a win for Johannesson ahead of Bagioli and Glug. And then Lenny Martinez is going to be heading to Bike Aid next season. Bike Aid, of course, is just a Continental Pro German side. He's going to be a huge boost for them. I mean, he comes in as their second big time. But is he replacing Cooper Walsh, whose contract was expiring? Very well could be replacing him as their leader. Lenny Martinez might not even be in the World Tour next season. We've got 5 stages of La Vuelta complete already. We've had a couple of punchy stages now. Martinez doing okay in one, doing very well in the other. Finds himself now in 5th place, 23 seconds down. But we don't really have major favorites at the head of this race right now. I mean, we got a 78 Mountain, we got an 81 Glog is absolutely a contender. And so Martinez kind of sits second of contenders. Mixed bag of good news, bad news when it came to our preparation for this as we're entering stage 6. We now have 4 riders on Fitness Peaks. All 4 of them have entered it within the last 2 stages, either stage 5 or now at stage 6. Which means they're going to have it just about right till the end of the tour. Also, looking at the rest of the team, Guy is a day away. Garzón is maybe a couple days away. Martinez and Piccioni are both probably 3 to 4 stages away, meaning the whole team is going to be Fitness Peaks through or till just about the end of this tour. That part's fantastic. Also, looking at the fitness levels, Gonzalez at 92, Garzón at 94, but everybody else is high fitness levels. Are they still building, or are they already starting to decline? I'm not sure. But one other thing outside of low motivation for Gonzalez, which is a definite negative, for everybody else, they are carrying a bit of fatigue. I mean, out of 8 riders, I think 6 of them are a little bit tired. And that just goes with the territory in this version of the game where they reworked how this fitness system works. By August, it's inevitable. If you are preparing, if you have an objective at La Vuelta, no matter how fresh you come into the beginning of that prep phase, you're going to go to La Vuelta and you're going to be tired. It's August. It's a long season. It happens to each and every rider in the world. And where you used to easily manage that in game, now there's a much bigger sense of realism to it. And there just is fatigue. And you see it a lot more at La Vuelta than you do at the other 2 Grand Tours, where you just see legs give up again and again. And some of the best riders in the world, and good riders, and elite riders, it doesn't matter what their level is, you see it. It's not just the weaker guys that give out. It's very, very strong riders because they're carrying extra fatigue, and it just hits a tipping point at some stage during La Vuelta. We have a lot of guys that could hit that tipping point in the later stages of this race. That's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye out. But for stage 6, we have a final climb that I'd like to try out and see what we're doing. Our 2 leaders, Martinez and Piccioni, really we're riding for both of them to be very high in the standings at the tail end, and we'll see ultimately who is our leader later on. But right now, I'd like to keep both of them as high up the order as possible. Right now, Martinez is 5th, though, so he's a little bit better placed than Piccioni at the moment. But let's get into this climb, and we'll use the rest of the team to definitely support those 2 leaders. Final 40K of the stage, penultimate climb. We're going to try to get through this climb quickly as we can. Right now, I've got everybody locked in on a 79. Garzón's not doing very well with that because he's got a -3 race day condition. Speaking of race day condition, as a team, our expected is a +25, which is phenomenal. But with 3 guys expected at +5, any positive race day condition draw that they have won't appear positive because +5 is the maximum. So they would just show +5, as Bausch is now going backwards. Garzone, I don't think, needs protection. Chergai, can we get you guys up there? Oh, come on. I hate when it does that. Absolutely hate when it does that. I'm on an 84. I do a soft roll to make it an 85, and then all of a sudden it's a 71. All right, we do get over the top. 84 left in the Peloton. There is a temporary split here, but it's going to come back together. That's 83. So Bausch has been dropped. Let's make sure he gets to auto. Bausch is no climber. He is very much your flat-rated guy to lead the Peloton if we ever find ourselves in that position where we are first place overall and have to do some work at the front. He is very much here for that role. Water is already done for the day, so these guys, just Garzone and Chergai, getting back into position. We need to switch Chergai to protecting Abner Gonzalez, as today anyway, Garzone is just not very strong. He's picked up a -5 draw, and it's really hurt. It's brought his stamina down to a 72. He's still a 79 mountain, but it's clearly affecting his day. Now, the front 5 that remain are not far ahead, so they'll be caught pretty soon. This final climb, that'll be it. It'll be the decisive day, and the winner is very much going to come from this Peloton as we approach the final climb of the day. But anyway, because of those +5s, they're not manageable. So a +25, you would expect about a +21, +22 to be the net overall as a result, just because some of that's, offset. And even then, somebody with a +3 still can't draw more than a +5. So if they show up at +5 on an expected +3, you don't know if it was a +2 draw, a +3 draw, +4 draw, +5 draw. So again, 21 is what I expected today. We got a 18. Garzone's -5 is what really dropped us down. It would have been a +22 otherwise, and it would have been right about where you'd expect it to be. Last 3 riders have nearly been reeled in. They're definitely not riding too hard as we approach. In fact, we're already going uphill. But the climb is the official climb. 13K, 6.5%, with a flat section right in the middle. And that flat section is the key for me. And for a rare while, we actually do find ourselves in a fairly strong position in terms of our chances in this race overall. Martinez, his 82 mountain, is actually the highest base mountain rating of anybody. Of course, everybody else has +4, so he's really not. He's still outside the top 10 in the overall favorites, but we offset that. We always offset that, but you can only offset by so much. And with the fitness peaks being well-timed, we could have a lot of good results. Now, Chergai, Panamar probably already dropping back. They are. So let's get some protection where protection is due. Panamar also beginning his fade. Let's put those 2 on auto. Gonzalez does not need to be protecting anyone. Garzone does, but it's who's alone. Piccioni, are you still being protected? Not really. I think Gonzalez needs to protect Piccioni now. Yes, that was Panamar, who was trying to protect while not protect. Base of the climb. Put that up a little bit more. Put that up a little bit more. McKellar. McKellar is still protecting Martinez. Let's go ahead and gel up for him. Down to 58 riders. Martinez is still right there. There is Gonzalez. There is Piccioni. Piccioni. Give me an 82. Got to be in position for later. Piccioni, only a 79 base. So even though he's a better time trialist, I think Martinez really does need to be the leader that we ride for, especially if we do have an advantage in climbing. We're going to have to take that advantage in these types of stages. Not necessarily early on. Neither one has their fitness peak yet. They're not going to have the +5s. So for now, for these early stages, we want to make sure we don't lose any time. If we can, we'll gain time. We don't want to lose time on the time trial, obviously. Let's hope for a positive race day condition. Then McKellar is getting his fade. Piccioni is getting protection from Gonzalez. Gonzalez needs to switch that up and protect Martinez, the leader. And then Piccioni needs to get up behind Martinez. Down to 41. We're going to hit that flat area. I was hoping to do something in this flat area, but I'm down to 3 riders. Pace has been a little bit too high, so we're going to wait 6K. Others have thought the same. Not sure why McKellar wasn't on auto when I thought I had already placed him there. Piccioni, you know what? Let's go. We know better. If it's not Piccioni, he's not the leader of this team. 99 is also not what I want you doing. 37 left in the group. Not best position. I was hoping to get well positioned here, but others have had other plans in mind. Aaron's been attacking, and we come forward. Now well positioned for the last 3K. Gel for Martinez. Piccioni. That's just about it here. On to Gonzalez. 2.5K. Martinez. Countering 23 guys. Piccioni gets dropped. Put him on auto. Down to 15. Rubio about to get dropped. Soler going backwards. We're down to 11. Couple more riders at the back also looking rather weak. Gonzalez continue on a little bit longer. Set up Martinez. Martinez does not have a lot for this final. Whoa. Hang on. Brenner. Almeida. 300 meters. Martinez is going to be right there. Gonzalez also. Gonzalez sprint. We're going to get third on the stage. That's good. That's pretty good. Brenner takes a win ahead of Almeida. They're absolutely two of the favorites. Almeida, especially overall. Martinez, then Gloag, then Gonzalez. Gonzalez, good result for him. He's going to be very well placed in the overall for the time being, but he's very much not our leader. He's just the guy who's getting those plus fives early on. Foss, Arnsman, Van Giels, Bosch, Soler, Van Wilder. Top 11. Huge gap to anybody else. Well, it's not huge, is it? It's still only a minute 24. Piccioni is going to be inside the top 20 in 20th place. But that's not good for his position in the standings. He was 15th, 37 seconds down. He'll be a bit further behind. I do think we're already into a one-horse race in Martinez. He was the favorite anyway, and he was much better today. Martinez ended up losing 9 seconds to the guys ahead of him, Brenner included, and Almeida. Gloag was the only other holdover who was still ahead of us, so actually it's probably a good place to be because you don't want to be in the race lead after stage 6. Gloag leads the overall, Brenner, Martinez, and Almeida. Then Gonzalez, still very well placed, Foss, Soler, and then you're starting to see gaps grow a little bit rapidly after those first ones. Piccioni actually moves up in the standings into 13th, as there were some guys that were a bit further down overall. Still a lot of riders in contention. I mean, many minutes can be overcome, especially with breakaways. So there's still a good 40-50 riders that have some sort of chance in this race contention-wise. So it really hasn't been split up that much. But that was a very good stage for us. And Martinez in a very strong position right now, almost ideally, because you don't want the lead and you're only 5 seconds off of it. So I think the end of that stage turned out exactly how you would hope it would turn out. Stage 7 has resulted in a podium spot for Piccioni, with Moss taking the stage itself. A little bit of a time advantage. And then we're seeing the main leaders. Where did they even come at? Martinez, 22 seconds down. Luckily, it's close together. This, of course, would not result in that sort of time gaps. Completely unrealistic profile. But Martinez, just 12 seconds behind in third place with Gloag. Now the leader. Almeida, Brenner still up there. Gonzalez is still there in 5th. But Piccioni has moved into the top 10 in 9th place after his strong showing. We're still in good shape. A third of the way through this tour. We're now on stage 8. I'm going to let this one get played out by the AI. We'll see what happens with it. It is a mountaintop finish, but it's not a major mountain. It's 10K. Stage 9 is a hilltop finish. Stage 10 is a time trial. We're going to start the next episode from stage 10. Let's get 8 and 9 out of the way. But following that, you have a flat stage. 12 is a big mountaintop finish. We'll definitely play that one out. 13 is flat. 14 is another mountaintop finish. We'll see. And 15. Those are all kind of back-to-back-to-back just mountaintop finishes. 16 flat, 17 hills. 18, they consider that mountain. I don't know about that one. 19 is definitely punchy. 20, a lot of climbing over that one. And then finally stage 21. From the looks of this and from where we're at, we now have 6 riders on fitness peaks and just the 2 leaders left to hang on for a while yet. Martinez grabs second on the stage behind Glow. Gonzalez again is well placed in 6th, and Piccioni 39 seconds down. But we're now looking at a second place for Martinez. Again, perfect, ideal spot we would like to be in at this point. Gonzalez is 5th, Piccioni is 12th. Now, the next stage, you don't mind taking the lead here, if possible. And the reason for it is following that's a time trial, and he's going to lose some time there. So he's going to lose that jersey towards New Horizons. Chergai is heading to Autumn General Tavira, the Portuguese team. This punchy stage has times all over the place. Bausch, by the way, is headed to Trek for next season. Moss has won the stage. He's moving up. Glogue is moving up. So we're definitely not going to be in the race lead today. I'm getting a little worried about where our team's placement is. Nobody's showing up. Chergai, there's Garza. Martinez, a minute down. Ouch on that part. And Piccioni, a minute 5. Big losses for us. Still find ourselves well placed. But now, suddenly, a minute 15 behind Glogue. Gonzalez is still in the top 5 at 4th place, but Piccioni is down to 12th place now. Gaps have spread. I mean, we're now looking at 5 minutes down to 15th place. So the field's spreading out more and more, but Martinez losing a minute on that stage hurts a lot. That really hurt, especially as we're heading into a time trial where he is not going to do as well as Piccioni. So you can see those two coming in a lot closer to each other. Following this one, the 2.5 minute gap between them could easily be the difference after this time trial. Gonzalez, how is he in the time trial? Just to 72, so he, like Martinez, is going to go backwards a ways. Those two still not on their fitness peaks as of yet. We're going to head into that stage 10. That's going to put us at roughly halfway after that one, but there's a lot of mountain stages, a lot of mountaintop finishes still to come in this La Vuelta. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.